I love bar chords, they're super easy, said no ukulele player ever. No, really, I do love bar chords and they are super easy after you know what you're doing. And they're super beneficial. First of all, they open a wide range of amazingly sounding new chords. They help a lot with fingerstyle and chord melody arrangements because you have a few free fingers to do melodies with, and also you can move the melody higher up while still playing chords, and that's so good. And don't even get me started on transposing a song. I mean, if something is hard to sing, you just imagine all the chords as bar chords and then just move it up or down the fret to make it match your voice or the singer's voice. Do you know how complicated it is to transpose something on the piano, for example? You really have to know your instrument. And here on the string instruments, it's super easy. You just learn a few shapes and move them up or down the fretboard and that's it. So my job for this video is to make you fall in love with bar chords too. But there is a catch. Love requires work and pain. It cannot happen instantly, you have to develop it. Well, thankfully for bar chords the pain is just in the beginning, and although you can always improve and get even better at playing bar chords, I can promise you this. If you take on the challenge that I'll present to you in this video, in 30 days you'll be able to play any bar chord comfortably, even if right now you can only play A minor and C. Whoa, that's a big promise. In this video I'll give you everything you need to know about bar chords, starting with positioning of course, and then going a little bit deeper into the things. Then I'll point out one very common advice that I think is actually a really bad advice, and it's taking you further away from mastering bar chords. So I think you should avoid this one thing that a lot of people are saying to do. Then I'll show you my cheats and tricks for making bar chords easier, because there are stuff that you can actually do to make the bar chords way easier than originally when you first tried them. And at the end I'll give you some exercises that you can do just for 10 to 15 minutes a day. And if you do this for 30 days, come back to this video and let me know how it went. If you don't have any progress, I'll give you your money back. Although this is a free video, but I'll give you your money back. So, if you're up for the challenge, let's go. Okay, so why does it take time? Well, because we need to develop some muscles and muscle memory. Right, which muscles? They're very tiny muscles actually. The first one is the one that makes your index finger straight, even a little bit with a curve to this side, right? And the muscle is located right here. Now mine is very pumped because I'm playing bar chords for a few years now. Probably if you need this video, your part of the hand right here with this muscle is super soft, but we'll develop it, don't worry. The second muscle that we need is the one right here, the one that makes your thumb go like this, okay? So this is the muscle right here, okay? So these are the two muscles that we'll need, but we'll not rely only on them. We'll use some tricks to make it easier. So let's start with positioning your hand. First thing, pull down your wrist. It should not be like this, it should be like this. So here your arm is next to the body, right? Because it's really hard to do a bar chord if you're like this, right? So your arm here, your elbow next to the body. Then your thumb, it should be on the back here, okay? It should not be sticking up, it should be on the back. And also, my thumb is a little bit weird. I mean, I can do this. I don't know if you can do this. We are all different and that's the beauty, but mine can do this thing. And actually when I'm grabbing bar chords, I realize that my thumb is pointing towards the tuning pegs, which I think it's kind of weird, but this is how I'm grabbing a bar. I mean, my thumb is pointing in that way, and it's not really right behind the bar, it's more like here on the side, a little bit on the side here, although the pressure is here on the knuckle. That way is easier for me, and it's also forcing my arm to get closer to the body, to the right position of the arm and the wrist. Another thing, your wrist should never be like this. You should never have tension in your wrist because this will open a lot of problems for you after down the road. So the wrist should be relaxed, right? So you're squeezing here with this muscle and with that muscle. You're squeezing here. Okay. So this is the basic function here of the index finger and the thumb. Now let's get a little bit deeper. This soft part here, as far as I know, is called phalanges, right? And this is another phalanges. And this in between them, as far as I know, is called the knuckle. We'll use first these phalanges right here on the pointing finger. If you're playing the A minor chord, the C chord, you probably know that when you're playing chords, you're actually playing with the part of the finger that is very close to the nail, right? Like this. You're making a little arch right here, and this is how you play. Now, when we are playing bar chords, we are actually playing with this part of your finger, right? So let's try to do it just on the G and C string, the upper two strings to your face, right? On the second fret, and I'll be grabbing this with the pointing finger, with the upper phalanges, with the first phalanges, and I'll grab it like this. Okay, so A minor, and you just slap the finger. Okay, this is the first bar. Now, notice where my thumb is, where the bar is. Okay? I'm playing just the upper two strings for now. We'll work on more strings in a little bit. And let's try to move this up the fretboard. Now, if one of the strings is not sounding good, in this example, the C string, it's not sounding good. So what do I have to do? I have to curve my pointing finger like this, okay? Like this. All right. A great example for bar chord shape with just one phalange and two strings is this, basically the A chord moved right here. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm barring the A and E string, but let's do it a little bit higher here on the third fret, for example. A and E string, and then grabbing the middle finger here on the fourth fret of the C string, and ring finger on the fifth fret of the G string. Okay, here's the first exercise that you can do to develop your bar chords, especially this specific chord shape, right? So let's start with the chord of E minor. I guess you know this. After E minor, we just move all of the fingers one string higher, like this. The ring finger goes higher, the middle finger goes one string higher, and the pointing finger goes one string higher. It is the same shape, just one string higher. And this is B7, right? And after this, you keep the same shape. All you have to do is just get your arm a little bit closer to the body and try to straighten up here the index finger on the left hand, like this. Alright, so the first exercise is going between E minor to B7 to B. Look what my thumb is doing. So this is the first exercise. We'll recap all the exercises at the end of the video. Now let's go to the next phase. Bar chords using 2 phalanges of your finger. So we'll cover all the 4 strings with 2 phalanges. Now, let me point out something. Here is my knuckle, right? Here where the finger folds, right? Like this. Okay, so I will be aiming this part of my finger to be right between the C and the E string, right? So I'm putting it right here. I hope it's visible. I'm not sure here on this camera. I cannot see it, but I hope it's visible, okay? Like this. Now, probably you cannot sound this. And here's the bad advice that I hear all the time. So, a lot of people say that you should play with this part of your finger here on the side of your finger. But actually, if you play like this, I don't see how you can grab anything after. I mean, you're not in the right shape. And also, that way, I think it hurts way more because here you have some knuckles. I mean, your finger is hard here, and when you press it next to the strings, it will hurt more. So I don't get it. I see that there is a little bit of truth to it. Maybe you should press a little bit more on that side of the finger, but do not rotate it. Or if you're rotating it, not more than 5 degrees. 5 degrees is at maximum. Do not rotate it 90 degrees. This will take you very far away from the right way to grab bar chords. Don't do this. Don't do like this, because after that you cannot build any bar chord. You have a lot of pressure here in your wrist, and it's just a really bad idea. Don't do it, okay? So wrist down, you use your soft part here, the phalanges, to press the strings. Here the finger fold between the C and E string, right? And the thumb, the wrist is relaxed, the arm is pointing down, it's very close to the body, right? And here is maybe one of the greatest tricks that you can do for playing bar chords. So we'll pull on the ukulele with 2 of our hands, and we'll push with the body a little bit. Although the body is not doing anything, but we're pulling from the both sides the ukulele, and that way you can even play bar chords with no thumb at all. So I'm using here this part of my hand to press the uke like this to my ribs, right? And then I grab here, as I told you, the finger fold is between the C and E string, and I pull the ukulele towards my shoulder, right? And I'm not even pressing with the thumb. Give this a try. And then after this, add the thumb as well for even more support. Alright. Another thing you can do to make barring here even easier is to put the middle finger on top of the index finger for additional support. Like this. So I'm pressing my uke with the right hand here, pulling it with the pointing and middle finger, and the thumb is just for extra support. I'm doing this on the 2nd fret, but another trick here, it's a really good idea when you're first learning this to start on the 5th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret, somewhere in the middle where the tension of the strings is a little bit less. There is less force need to press really good and get a good sound. So let's do it on the 5th fret, for example. So pulling here to my ribs, then with the left hand to my shoulder, the arm is next to the body, thumb is like this, pointing a little bit towards the tuning pegs. Can you do it so far? Let me know in the comments below. And here's one exercise for 2 phalanges bar chords. Alright, so we'll start with the open A minor 7. All strings open, alright? We'll use the minor 7 chord to learn bar chords, right? And then after A minor 7, we move to the 5th fret here. So, where is my knuckle? here between the C and E string, right? Okay. I'm pressing the ukulele body to my ribs, pulling here with the left hand, adding additional support here with the middle finger on it, and the thumb is the last thing basically. And I'm squeezing. Then I release this and I just let the ukulele rest on my index finger like this. My index finger is pointing a little bit down, so I'm not muting the A string like that, okay? Like this, and then going back to here. So, the second exercise is A minor 7 to D minor 7 on the 5th fret bar, then back to A minor 7, and then to E minor 7, which is bar on the 7th fret, okay? Okay, let's see the third exercise. Third exercise is a little bit more advanced than the second one. We'll start with the chord of F6, which is the same as D minor 7. Basically just barring here on the 5th fret. Again with the same techniques that I showed you earlier. Starting here, and then we'll use the middle finger, ring finger and pinky to add this little melody, right? So on the A string, 6th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret. Another thing that you can do in the beginning to not have a lot of soreness after that, because this is actually a little fitness for your hand. You can release the pressure. Look how I'm not squeezing the whole time. I'm just squeezing when I'm strumming. With little pushes. And then the next exercise, again we'll start on the 5th fret, and then we'll add the middle finger on the 6th fret of the E string and the ring finger on the 7th fret of the G string. In the beginning it's normal to take some time to get the shape here. You look at it. Just when you're looking at it, don't rotate the ukulele like this, because you'll make it way more complicated to play the chord. You just get your head a little bit like that to take a look at what is happening here. But still you're not a giraffe, so try to not break your neck, just take a glance. On the 3rd fret, on the 5th fret. Alright, and we came to 1 phalange, 3 strings. Now, it's possible that your fingers are a little too small to do that. If that's the case, try with smaller ukulele, like soprano for example. Basically, the idea here is to play the D chord like this. This is my favorite position. Let me get closer here. The first phalange of my hand here can grab the G string, then the C string, and even the E string if I press it really good, like this. Notice how my finger here, right where it folds, it gets a little bit wider. Whiter, I mean more white. I mean the blood is not there because I'm pressing, right? Look at, so I'm not barring like this time, I'm lifting up. If I'm not lifting up, this is also the same chord, but just with a muted A string. And actually, It really depends. This could be super easy or super hard for you. Let me know in the comments below what is the case for you. But with this you can grab any major chord anywhere. So this is the D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. Okay? So what I like to do here is and you can do it with the pointing finger, with the middle finger, with the ring finger, and then slide it, right? And see for yourself which one is the easiest, but it's really good if you can work more on the ring finger because that will allow you to solve all the issues with the E chord. I will do another video just on the E chord, but this exercise can help you with a lot of chords, right? So, okay, so let's do a recap. What you have to do for 30 days. So, you sit down, get your ukulele, you say to yourself, I'm a master of bar chords, and then you start. First, E minor, to B7, and then to B, to E minor, and all over again. E minor, to B7, to B, to E minor. And also you can do some strumming if you'd like to. Make it fun for you. You can sing, you can hum, but in the beginning probably it's the best idea just to try to focus on what you're grabbing here and do just one down strum. Alright, so you're doing this for 3 minutes. Put a little stopwatch somewhere, 3 minutes going between these 3 chords. Okay. Then, after you're done with that, we go to the next exercise, the 2 phalanges bar chord, right? So we start with A minor 7 to D minor 7. Don't forget, putting here pressure to my ribs, pulling the ukulele to my shoulder. If you're a strong guy, try not to break the ukulele, right? Then put the middle finger on top of the pointing finger and then add here the thumb, which is pointing a little bit towards the pegs. Then A minor again, same technique to E minor 7. A minor 7 to D minor 7 to A minor 7 to E minor 7. Wow, 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 wow. Every day you can add something to it so you don't get bored. You have to stay excited because learning stuff can feel good and it should feel good always. Okay, 3 minutes on this as well. With a stopwatch, just go between these. When the stopwatch says bzzz, go to the next exercise, which is F6 to F7 to F major 7 to F. Okay? Here we're trying to make it comfortable for the pointing finger to press on its own without the middle finger helping it, right? also in the beginning, just release the pressure after every strum so you don't get too tired. Three minutes on that as well, and then the F-shaped bar. We are playing here D minor 7 to B flat to C minor 7, A flat. Another 3 minutes on that, and we go to the last exercise. Even if you cannot do it correctly, just do it. Just do it. For 30 days, it will make a huge difference. You'll be amazed of yourself. If you don't believe me, record yourself every day and just take a look at the video from the first day and then take a look at the video of the 30th day, and you'll see how different you will be. And the last exercise goes like this. D to D sharp with a little bit of A, to E with a little bit of A, to F with A. On all of these, try to hear the open A string, right? So bend here like this. All of your fingers, you should be able to bend them like this, okay? Now, if your fingers cannot do this, don't get disappointed. It's normal. I mean, I'm doing this for some years now. So for me, it's easy, but for you it could be a little bit harder right now. But I'm telling you, if you do these exercises for 30 days, every day, you'll be amazed how good you are at the end of the 30th day at barring chords. And after that, you'll be able to do so much more on your uke. So, give this a try, give this a chance, don't quit. Another thing that you can expect to happen, here you have some achings on the finger, right? That's normal. After that, your finger gets another layer of a little bit thicker skin. It will take more, maybe like 2 weeks. And this layer will get thicker and thicker the more you play, but it will stop any hurting after the second week. So get your printable in the link in the description, print it, have it for a month, give it a try, and then come back here and let me know how it went. It was a pleasure for me to try to give you this. I hope you took it, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.